leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian talk.
If you value this program, DarkDox, 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 Digest. DarkDox, 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 Digest. DarkDox, 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 Digest. DarkDox, 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 Digest.
Welcome to DarkDox Digest. Today is March 6, 2025, and it's time for a deportion. Is that a word? Deportion? What? I'm your host, Christian Coffins.
DarkDox, 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 Digest. DarkDox, 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 Digest.
A deportion? What is a deportion? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out together. How's everyone doing on this Thursday, March 6th? There's a lot of talk about daylight savings changes. Changing it forever so it doesn't change anymore. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's on the display capture. And so this week we had mandate. We had accountability, which has the entire Trump speech addressed to Congress. And we were covering it live with Infowars.com, band.video and Infowars.com. And on Monday, it was 3-3, so we did a Magic 33 episode about all kinds of occult stuff related to 33. And why is 33 popping up everywhere? I don't know. Let's dive in. A deportion, according to Urban Dictionary, is when you choose to abort a baby and it gets launched across the border. This baby is red for deportion. The reason why I chose this for today's episode is because... I'm going to bring it back on the screen. Because Owen Schroyer on the War Room actually misspoke when he was meaning to say deportation. But, you know, it's an interesting word, deportion. It feels like deportation is such a long word. We can truncate it to deportion. And I think subconsciously that deportations would be more appealing to liberals if you ask them really quick, like, hey, do you support deportion? Yeah, I'm pro-choice. Yeah, deportions. So I think we should start calling deportations deportions. And it's also a funny word because anything like decapitate means to like take off an head. Deport is to remove something. So really an abortion is a deportion from your body that results in the killing of the baby. But also when you break up the word, what's the other side? Portion. Where things are very disproportionate in this country. We have a deportion. I like words. NASA's stranded astronauts confirm Biden abandoned them in space. He declined Elon Musk's rescue offer for political reasons. NASA's stranded astronauts have acknowledged that Joe Biden deliberately abandoned them in space for political purposes. Barry Wilmore and his crewmate Sunita Williams have been stuck in the International Space Station since July of last year, and their Boeing Starliner ran into technical issues. By a virtual press conference on Tuesday, Wilmore asked about Elon's claim that Joe Biden declined to offer to bring them back on a SpaceX flight several months ago for political reasons. I can only say that Mr. Musk, what he says is absolutely factual, Wilmore said. Wow, it's 4 hours long?
I'll be right beside Butch if that's the case.
Holy
what
shit.
role?
All the time.
He said to
Fit it into
forward. That's a lesson that I take from this is just the strength that you can achieve.
So yeah, fuck Joe Biden. Yes, on the American Journal this morning, Harrison Smith had a special guest, Invisible Inquiry. Definitely check out his work. He's making software that visualizes all of the USAID money going in all the directions, and I mean it's gorgeous. Look at this. It's more gorgeous than me. I know, but like look at this. These are all the connections. Um, so, very fascinating stuff. But here's a little sample, a little taste of what they were working on this morning.
Just as a background, I'm doing everything tied to USAID, dark money, population control, terrorist financing, coups, judicial and media reform, and regime change. And what I found was the connection of USAID to Wuhan labs. This is the total, all of the sum of all of the data that I was pulling from USAID and all their dark and gray ops, dating back to the 1970s, or actually the 1960s when they were founded. And this is basically everything and everybody. I'm going to take you through this real quick, if you don't mind, about how this is broken down. Okay, so the way I've organized this graph, I'm going to have to take you through the top level first because it really breaks down into finite detail. This is USAID up here, okay? This is how the project operated. So USAID had a project called the Predict Project. Right. And in that, they worked with the Wuhan lab, which is up here. And what they did is this is EcoHealth Alliance here, and this is what they produced. This is how the project was founded back in 2014, and even some stuff that went back to 1999. These are all the locations that they were operating down here. This is the trail of financing. So this is all of the funding that came from USAID and other groups that they pulled together to help make it. This is the most important part of this whole story. This is what's happening today. So people think that this is over. It's not. Right. This is still going on. Everything in green I've labeled funding. So these are all funding organizations and all of the different disbursements of funding that went over the course of 5 to 7 years to EcoHealth Alliance, who then dispersed it to Wuhan labs. Got it. So it's a lot. I mean, it's really complicated. It's taken me a long time to both crunch the data and organize it for people to see. But what I think it shows is, for the first time, the connection of everybody involved in the project, what they were working from, where they came from. It's pretty comprehensive. What I'm going to show you here is how the project got started. And a lot of people aren't aware of how this worked. This whole operation started as a result of the Rocker Foundation and something called the Bellagio Center, which they had just opened. In 1999, they put together a program called Gavi, which has to do with virus monitoring. Gavi. It was part of the Gates Foundation. I think one of the Gates Foundation things.
Bill and Melinda Gates
Foundation. A little bit after that,
they
had something called at the Bellagio Center. See, I have everything here. It's like everybody involved in the project. So at the Bellagio Center, which was put on by Dean Rusk, Ella Haworth, and the Rockefeller Operation financed it. Something called the 2016 GVP, the Global Virome Project, at the Bellagio Forum. So this is a forum that everybody's going to in Italy. I have broken down here all of the participants in that forum. Okay. So these are everybody coming from all kinds of different. So these are the people who were involved as participants. And this is where they came from. So you have Harvard Public Health, University of Hong Kong. You have people.
So this sub clip is 6 minutes, but I mean, they did like a whole hour of this, and it's just mind blowing. And it's all open source software. They're developing it. Again, give Harrison Smith a follow at Harrison H. Smith on X, and invisible_INQ. InvisibleINQ.com is their website, where you can see USAID publicly accessible databases is open to registrants. Click here to sign up to receive data releases of everything related to USAID investigation. I'm going to register. Shoot. When I get off. Shut up. Father of 13-year-old cancer survivor has a message for bad energy Rachel Maddow. She needs to shut her mouth. I agree. Let's see what all the hubbub is about.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge.
What an
Doge
asshole.
cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer.
Nope, that's not what
For the record,
USAID
and this
is,
is
you dumb cunt.
disgusting, the president made a spectacle
Disgusting.
out of...
So disingenuous, so disgusting. What do we got here? What is this? Latest Democrat cringe, Congresswoman roasted after dropping Choose Your Fighter video. Oh, I hate these. Let's take a look. Why can't I click? I got to refresh on the Infowars. I don't understand why. Oh dear. They're just out of energy. Whoa, 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 what was she doing? I can't control. Oh, why are you so glitchy, dog? And now you're frozen again. Something's up with the Infowars site. Let me see. Yeah, let's watch it on next. The embeds are glitchy. The AOC. Oh! No one's gonna do anything with that. Hopping on a beat. Choose your character. Sleep deprived. Youngest woman Latina to be elected in the House. She's a Trekkie. Representative of so fast. Youngest black woman elected to Congress, co-founded Black Maternal Office, hates balloons. Catherine Clark, House Minority Whip, Massachusetts 5th Congressional District, not into hair dye. I also prefer to be a silver fox, so... Broken clock is right twice a day. Representative Judy Chu, California's 28th Congressional District. First Chinese American woman elected to Congress. Too sweet. See, it's all about identity politics. First black, first that. Jasmine Crockett, of course. Texas's 30th Congressional District public defender, attorney, not a morning person. Me neither. Susie Lee, Nevada's 3rd Congressional District, president of Communities in the School of Nevada, 2 sprained fingers. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Yeah, TikTok trends, man. They'll be the death of you. They will be the death of you. Representative Pete Sessions to introduce Make Elections Secure Act would eliminate voting machines and ensure hand-marked paper ballots, severely restrict mail-in voting. Ha! Dominion voting. Got a video.
It probably did affect the election. I mean, we won by a lot. As I said, too big to rig. But it probably did affect the election. You know, probably could have won by more, but I could have lost the election because of that. We have to get to honest elections. We have to go back to paper ballots. We have to go back to voter ID, one-day election ideally, or short term, not these 48-day and 61-day elections where boxes are put in a room and, oh, let's move the boxes because we're putting in a new air conditioning system. Then you see the boxes move, and then you say, well, where are all the boxes? You know, what happened to the boxes that never came back? Now, our elections are extremely dishonest. We're the only country in the world that has mail-in voting and all of these different things that we put in. No other country in the world has it. You know, France went to, they had some of the things that we had, and they went to same-day voting, all paper. And you know, paper is very sophisticated now. It's a very sophisticated form of voting right now. It's a very safe form of voting. You know, the other things for the governors, I wish the governors would do it, because the paper ballots will cost 9% of the machines, and they're 100%. You know, nothing's foolproof, but they're as close as you get.
Step in the right direction. Why are trans women so violent? John Bound reports.
Face now!
Ooh,
now!
That was very rude of you.
Get the f out of my face!
Do you want to go to jail? Sir, ma'am, I don't really know what to call you.
You're done, man.
I'm done.
Get the police, you just insulted me.
Why are attacks by transgender women a different statistic than for transgender men? In the UK, statistics from 2018 indicated that half of transgender people in prison were sentenced for one or more sexual offenses, with the majority of these offenders being trans women. This reflects a pattern where transgender women exhibit criminality patterns more akin to their birth sex, male, rather than their gender identity. Begging the question, if you have become a woman, then why can't you behave like one? In a bizarre and unsettling incident in Loveland, Colorado, 40-year-old Lucy Grace Nelson, a transgender individual born Justin Thomas Nelson, was arrested on February 24th, 2025 for allegedly targeting a Tesla dealership with a series of vandalism attacks. According to police, Nelson struck the dealership on January 29th, February 2nd, and February 7th, defacing several Tesla vehicles and the building itself with red spray paint.
Psycho.
The spree escalated when authorities discovered Nelson had planted incendiary devices at the site, raising alarms about the potential for serious harm. The Post-Millennial indicated that Nelson returned to the dealership on the night of his arrest, armed with additional explosives, only to be apprehended by detectives before further damage could be inflicted. And Americans noticed that as transgenderism became major policy supported by the Biden administration, now emboldened, incidents of aggressive transgenders became a regular occurrence.
And sources close to this case tell me that this is some of the most horrifying footage they have seen in their careers. He turns around at the sound of a screeching car speeding right into him. We're pausing the video right before he gets hit. The car reverses and hits him again, pushing him further into the street. Neighbors are on the phone, frantically calling 911. And that's when the suspect, Karen Fisher, identified in court records as a man, but also described as she by police, returns with a knife in hand. The suspect yanks and flips Anderson over, straddles him, and kisses him. We're not showing what happens next because it's too graphic, but that's when police say Fisher stabs him 9 times.
And then it gets really weird. The Ziz transgender cult is straight out of your worst dystopian nightmares.
We covered this whole situation.
Zizians, steeped in rationalist circles, are all about a twisted version of justice or revenge, depending on how you look at it. In Vermont, near Canada's border, a border patrol agent was gunned down in a shootout. The weapons linked back to the Zizians. From Pennsylvania to California, the Zizians have left a trail of blood. An elderly couple in Pennsylvania, a landlord named Curtis Lind in Vallejo, who survived one attack only to be killed later. This isn't just some fringe group. This is a warning sign of how ideologies have spiraled out of control. Men are warlike by nature, creatures of testosterone. And no amount of fingernail polish or lipstick is going to change that. John Bound reporting for Infowars.
Yeah. Polio was 98% eradicated before the vaccine ever invented and put into circulation, beginning the biggest medical farce in history. The historical data from the medical journals and books revealed that the decline on infectious disease, including polio, began long before the introduction of vaccines due to improvised living conditions and the discovery of vitamins that boost immunity. And with that being said, I highly suggest, let's see what this looks like. I just got a new photo of the supplements. No, that's the old photo. I'm going to bring this in for a second. Did I do it? Hold on. Yeah, there we go. How come, why you know? There we go. So this is my new batch. Let me get rid of the old supplement photo. I don't need you anymore. And supplements, and I'm going to move you up here. Very good. So yeah, right now, this is my current batch from thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. And if you use that URL with the /DarkDox, I get 10% as an affiliate. So I greatly appreciate that to continue to bring you 10 hours of Bandot video every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 p.m. I compact it, I crush it, and I save you 9 hours. And all of the most important highlights and things, and some more things from the DarkDox Network. But the Survival Shield X2 and Brain Force are from InfoWarsStore.com. I'm not even an affiliate, but if you'll see, I have 2 bottles of that, because I stocked up. The price is really great right now. It's on sale, and it's great stuff to have. Nascent iodine, and then the Brain Force has ashwagandha. It has black pepper extract. It has all kinds of stuff. The CMOS capsules are also a great source of iodine. Right now, any order, I believe, gets a free ultimate gut cleanse, and this is my second bottle of that. So I was like, great. I went ahead and got that. I got the probiotic, which I just tried today. And then the ultimate Sambucus gummies are delicious. I already had one today, and they're fantastic. Of course, I got the Sheila Jit complex, and then Atomic Defense has all kinds of great stuff over there at thealexjonesstore.com. Let's see what we got here. So I wanted to touch on that before we got into this video. Oh wait, no, did this one have a video? No. I thought that this was the RFK one. Representative Thomas Massey, Senator Mike Lee introduced bills to audit and abolish the Federal Reserve. Yes, please. They have teamed up to reintroduce the In the Fed bill. Man, In the Fed. I remember when we were holding those signs up for Ron Paul back in 2008. That's how long I've been doing this stuff. I mean, really, it goes all the way back to 2001. But 2008, things were exciting. Not as exciting as now. I mean, this is amazing, because we're actually doing these things. But this is when it was still very fringe and very few people knew about Infowars, Alex Jones, Aaron Russo, and everything. Massey also introduced the bill to audit the federal in the House. Massey previously introduced the bill in 2024. The Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act was first introduced by former Representative Ron Paul in 1999 and hasn't been reintroduced since 2013. In addition to introducing the legislation to end the Fed, Representative Massey has also introduced House H.R. 24, the Federal Reserve Transparency Act of 2025, to audit the Federal Reserve. H.R. 24 was originally introduced by former Representative Ron Paul in 2009. Here's the bill. Definitely follow Rep. Thomas Massey on X to keep up on this, as well as Mike Lee. Send Mike Lee. Doge is not elected, neither are the IRS, the Department of Justice, or the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or the Federal Reserve. It's as Federal Express. These are private entities, yet they hold authority. Senator Elizabeth Warren asked why she'd like to say to Elon and Doge. Her response is now going viral on Twitter: "Get the hell out of our government. Nobody elected you." Hate is gonna hate. Study investigates possible links between hepatitis B vaccine and autism. I think this was the video. Yeah, here's RFK Jr.
We were seeing this autism explode. The vaccine schedule began exploding in 1989, and you'll see autism 4.5 years after the vaccine. Oh, by 1995, we started seeing an explosion in autism, and we've gone now from autism being 1 in 10,000 Americans to 1 in every 34 children.
So crazy.
Well, it began exploding in 95, and the CDC itself said this could be the vaccines. These women, the mothers are reporting it's the vaccines, other people are reporting, doctors, etc. We're seeing it all over. Let's look. So they went into the vaccine safety database. They got a Belgian epidemiologist named Thomas Verstraeten, and they put together a team of people to go into the vaccine safety database. And they looked at one, they thought it was the mercury vaccines that were probably causing the autism. And they looked at one of the mercury vaccines was the hepatitis B vaccine that's given to every child on the day of birth in every hospital in this country. And they looked at children who had received the hepatitis B vaccine in their first 30 days. And then they compared that to children who had not received it in the first 30 days, either received it afterwards or didn't receive it at all. And they saw this huge signal. The original data run, Verstraeten reported 1,135% rise in the risk of autism among children who had received that vaccine during the first 30 days. In statistically, that's known as a relative risk of 11.35. If there's a relative risk of 2 and there is biological plausibility, it's considered proof of causation. So this was 11. To give you a comparison, the relative risk for smoking a pack of cigarettes a day for 20 years and lung cancer is 10, and that's considered dispositive proof. Well, this was 11.35. So they knew at that moment, they knew what was causing the autism epidemic.
There you have it. At the DarkDox shop, we have all kinds of cool stuff that I would like to introduce to you. In addition to, t-shirts and stickers and buttons and posters and all sorts of fun stuff, I really encourage people to look into our outdoor mini projector loaded with documentaries, our video audio player with a screen and speaker loaded with documentaries, audiobooks, and podcasts. These are rechargeable, and you can take them off grid. They don't need to be hooked into the internet. They don't need updates. They don't need anything. You can just simply enjoy DarkDox Digest, The Alex Jones Show, all sorts of documentaries, like all the Infowars movies, but we also have Zeitgeist, Esoteric Agenda, American Freedom to Fascism, Kymatica. There's over 100 different documentaries in 360 resolution. They're smaller, but these are very small screens. But these are great, so you can easily share these files with people, burn DVDs, and give them out to people like we used to do in the old days. But we have all kinds of cool stuff. We got films, Sacred Owls, They Are Here to Save the World on Blu-ray. It's only $10.99. We also have it on DVD for $8.99. I mean, come on. I have very honest prices here. There's 10 chapters. It covers us going from Florida to the Bohemian Grove, Boys Town, Nebraska, where the Franklin cover-up happened, Conspiracy of Silence, We also made it to the Georgia Guidestones and shot a music video there before it was demolished. Bunch of really cool stuff there. So definitely check out darkdox.me/shop and the Alex Jones Store /DarkDox. Do they have anything fun new? Superfood Greens. Oh yeah, and that's right. They were giving away hats. I got a cool Infowars hat for free. They're always giving away cool free stuff. And right now, so I got the gut cleanse for free. I got a free hat. Just for getting 2 bottles of supplements. And right now, it's 10x entries. So every dollar you spend is 10 entries into their raffle. They're giving away a Ford Raptor 4x4 and a Jeep Rubicon plus $20,000 in cash. And so right now it's 2 different ones. So you're getting 10x entries into both of them. So there is a chance you could win both. Slim to none, of course. I mean, that would be like getting struck by lightning twice. But you have double the chances of getting one of the 2. They've already given away 2 trucks, so it's very exciting. And if you're going to get anything from the AlexJonesStore.com, I highly suggest signing up for the VIP program because it's $30 a month. You can cancel anytime. But you get $40 in store credit, access to the lost tapes, Infowars MP3s from 2001 to 2008. There's exclusive giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. So check it out at thealexjonesstore.com /DarkDox. House moves the censor Representative Al Green over his stupid stunt during Trump's joint address to Congress. Democrats were warned that they could face censure if they acted out during Trump's speech yesterday. Representative Al Green of Texas just couldn't help himself and acted like a total jackass. He kind of looks like a jackass, doesn't he? Like cartoons of, "Eeow!" Right? A little bit. The House voted on this, and of course, the vote went pretty much along party lines, but Republicans still have the majority, so Green is getting off lightly for his behavior. If you missed it, here's the clip. Nasty person.
During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on...
What is this? House Freedom Caucus is filing a resolution to censure Representative Al Green for his disgraceful behavior. Yeah, there's a clip of that.
During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected. 80% of speech watchers said that the Democratic congressman's interrupting of Trump's speech was inappropriate. Only 20% of speech watchers thought what Green did was appropriate, Aaron. During the course of the event, which is wanting to get...
The times they are changing. Coming President Trump to sign executive order to abolish the Department of Education. President Trump will sign an executive order to abolish the Department of Education as early as today. The Wall Street Journal reported earlier this week the Senate voted 51-45 to confirm Linda McMahon as the 13th Secretary of Education. President Trump vowed to wage war with the Education Department and give power back to the states. Sounds good to me. Trump Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says U.S. is prepared for war after China's threats. Trump's Secretary of Defense said the United States will be prepared. However, China may retaliate in response to U.S. tariffs. In reaction to Trump raising tariffs on Chinese goods, Chinese Foreign Affairs Ministry stated, if war is what if the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end. See about that, China. Senator John Fetterman slams unhinged petulance of Democrats during Trump's address, admits nobody cares about their protests and stunts. This guy took a total 180. And I'm here for it. He's not as dumb as he looks. Senator John Fetterman has no time for the unhinged petulance of Democrat colleagues. During Donald Trump's address, he's going to be a Republican by the summer, I believe. Trump's address to Congress on Wednesday, Democrats held up signs, wore pink, heckled, and even walked out early. A sad cavalcade, I like that word, of self-owns and unhinged petulance, Fetterman wrote in response to a story that described how the protest had failed. That's the article. You know what? For that, I'm going to follow John Fetterman. How about that? How you like that? These 45 cowardly senators just voted against keeping men out of your daughter's sports. Never vote them in again. Who posted this? Rabid Response 47. I'm going to follow you. How about that? We aren't out of the woods yet. John Bound report.
I'm Alex Jones, radio and television host here in Austin, Texas. You're going to see a picture of treason, a picture of the loss of sovereignty of our nation, the United States of America, not by accident, but by design.
We're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
It's the cloud and pivot strategy, America destroyed by design.
G20 country has agreed to have this digital certificate using WHO standard. So hopefully for the next pandemic, we can still see some movement of the people, some movement of the goods, and movement of the economy.
It's going to be high-tech compact cities, death camps, combat robots, and they're just going to snap their fingers and turn the 5G on, and you'll all start dying of cancer within months. All of these platforms are multi-use. You can modulate 5G and these other systems, and they're good for communications, and they still have major cancer-causing effects of incrementally hitting you from dozens of different angles with different soft kill weapons, so that there's lots of different symptoms, lots of different illnesses, lots of different forms of death. But the life expectancy everywhere these systems go in is plunging. The IQs are plunging. The cognitive ability is plunging. The neurological disorders are exploding. And the heart problems. You have to understand, this kill grid's going in. They didn't just hit us with the COVID-19 out of the lab. They are then able to test and gauge the public and see if you wake up and see if you get upset and see if they can normalize a 40+% death rate in every Western country previous to any other year. If you look at Latin America until the 1960s, until the IMF and World Bank funded leftist revolutions down there, half of the countries in Latin America had a standard of living close to the U.S. Another 20 or so percent were on par, and about 30% of Latin America had a higher standard of living than we do. Beautiful cities, beautiful farms in rural areas, very low crime. But culturally, they had the same thing done to them that's been done to us. So when you look at the IMF and World Bank, they're just front groups for large private central banks, but also on the private Federal Reserve, and you see them with Build Back Better and collapsing our economy and shipping in drugs and all of this. So they've already tested it in other countries, cutting off resources, starting civil wars, poisoning people, doing all this, and now they're taking everything they've learned to the Western world.
If everybody's raising living standards to the point where everybody's got a car and everybody's got air conditioning and everybody's got a big house, well, the planet will boil over.
Why is war already started and why is more war coming? Because they're at the end of a currency bubble. They need a big global emergency to be able to basically make us forget that this is a giant Ponzi scheme that makes Bernie Madoff and FTX and the tulip mania that happened hundreds of years ago pale in significance.
Do you hate America? No. In fact, knowing many inmates, I figure out we're sharing way more common. Maybe America is very much similar. Look, it's the same size. They have it's the same kind of this. And when you talk to them, there is nothing there even to beef about. We are naturally, born not to be enemies. And whenever there's conflict, it's elites. Every, American I met in a prison who is from rural area was very easy to deal with. He has no problem with Russia, and he was curious about Russia, despite all propaganda. They're losing their Christian values. They're losing their families. They're losing literally their countries.
You'll be laying in your bed one night, or you'll be driving down the highway after work, and there'll be big flashes you see, and then 10 seconds later, your car is going to be overturned, probably on fire, and then life as you know it's over. You won't get back to your family. There'll be mass starvation and death, and there'll be a new literal dark age with enough dust in the atmosphere to cause a mini ice age, and they estimate 7 billion people will die in a nuclear war. There'll be maybe 500 million left, which is what these death cult people fetish all day long. Ladies and gentlemen, I have...
They do fetish it all day long. Radical leftist streamer calls for Senator Rick Scott to be killed, banned from Twitch for less than 24 hours. Far-left Twitch streamer Hassan Piker went on yet another unhinged rant for a few days after criticizing Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson's approach to fix Medicaid fraud.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him the current, what is his current office? What is he? He's the Richard Lynn Scott, is an American attorney, businessman, politician, Navy veteran, serving as the senior United States Senator from Florida, a seat he has held since 2019. And also, I believe this past election cycle, he was literally the f***ing head of the, what was it, like the Senate committee or something? Like the Republican fundraising initiatives. The reason why I'm saying if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott is because, and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he, to this day, is still also known as committing the largest Medicare fraud in U.S. history. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid...
What is he talking about? And he's unbanned. Yet I get shadow banned and punished, deleted, hacked. So if you like what we do, consider our affiliates, or just throw me a couple bucks, man. Cash.app/DarkDox. Because that's some bullshit. Anna Paulina Lunar escalates war in Sanctuary City mayor after wild row over child rapist arrest.
So you don't believe
Bad
that
headline.
banning the transfer of individuals into ICE custody for the purpose of civil immigration
Why
enforcement
does it
encourages
look
illegal
like it's
immigration
from the
into
90s?
Chicago?
I have a better video, I think. I think it's later. It's tabbed out later. DC's Mayor Bowser confirms Black Lives Matter street mural will be removed. Here's the post and here's the video. See this in the Black House.
Mayor Muriel Bowser saying what has been known as Black Lives Matter Plaza in D.C. since 2020 will be changed. The mural will instead be part of D.C.'s America 250 mural project with students and artists from across all 8 wards involved. There have been efforts in Congress to force the district to change Black Lives Matter Plaza or lose federal funding. In a statement, Bowser says, quote, the mural inspired millions of people and helped our city through a very painful period, but now we cannot afford to be distracted by meaningless congressional interference.
And all lives matter. Because we're all in this together on this prison planet. Here we go. Yeah. First Mayor of Sanctuary City's DOJ investigation. And I think the video is over here. Yeah.
Gentlemen's time's expired. Chair recognizes Dr. Fox from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Johnson
In the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens?
Thank you for that question, Congresswoman. So since 2022, since the governor of Texas began
Just
shipping.
tell me a number. I don't need a speech. Just tell me a number.
So since 2022, since the governor
Where's
of
the
Texas
beef?
was shipping individuals
Where's
to
that
cities
chick?
across this country, the city's budget, roughly 1% of the city's budget over the course of 4 years.
Mayor Johnston, the same question, and I don't need a speech, just a number.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you, Congresswoman. It's $79 million over the last 2.5 years.
It's tough as nails.
Mayor
I like it.
Adams, same
Miss
question.
Fox.
How much has New York spent to care for illegal aliens?
Approximately
I'd rather have her than
approximately
Joe Biden as
$6.9
president.
billion
Oh, here's
out of our
Adams.
taxpayers' funds.
Mayor Wu, same question. How much has Boston spent to care for illegal aliens in the last 4 years?
We do not ask about immigration status and giving city services and providing that access, so we do not have a number.
Taxpayers have been bearing the brunt of the massive wave of illegal aliens who've entered the United States. The Biden administration seemingly declared taxpayers and hardworking Americans collateral damage in the pursuit of open borders. Again, Mayor Johnson, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Chicago?
Thanks, Jamie.
In
Check
accordance
out Jamie's
with the
jukebox.
Welcoming City Ordinance, our sister agencies or city departments, we do not seek the status of any individual that is seeking service.
Mayor Johnston, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Denver?
Thank you, ma'am. When folks arrive on the streets without food or resources or shelter, we do provide food or shelter regardless of where folks arrive from.
Mayor Adams, same question.
Yes, in combination of city agencies and nonprofits, we responded to the migrant asylum seekers humanitarian crisis that hit our city.
And Mayor Wu, I assume you don't know their status, but do you know if there are NGOs are providing services to people arriving in your city without any kind of documentation?
There are community organizations, many of them in Boston, who seek to serve all of our Boston residents.
Congress must provide
I believe it was
oversight.
Ash Wednesday yesterday. I like people, especially politicians, being held accountable. It's good stuff.
So you don't believe that banning the transfer
here's
of
Miss
individuals
Luna.
into ICE custody for the purpose of civil immigration enforcement encourages illegal immigration
Don't
into
get in.
Chicago?
We
Or
can-
how about agencies, sorry, 1 second, or agents not being able to stop, arrest, or detain individuals based solely on their immigration status or administrative warrant?
So we comply with all laws, local, state, and federal.
To me, after this line of questioning, it's very clear that these policies that you have all implicated are active and alive and well in your cities, are in direct violation with U.S. Title 8, Code subsection 1324, and is a federal offense. But you all speak about a broken immigration system, and yet here you guys are aiding and abetting in that entire process. I want to be very clear about something. Open border policies, which is something that you guys are talking about, hurts people on both sides, meaning the people that are coming here illegally and then American citizens as well. I do not think you guys are bad people, but I think that you are ideologically misled, which is why, unfortunately, based on your responses, I'm all going to be criminally referring you to the Department of Justice for investigation. And as soon as I leave here, these will be going over to Pam Bondi. I'm not doing that in an effort to bully you guys, but I do believe that your policies are hurting the American people, and you can make that known with the evidence that you can present to the Department of Justice. But if you guys continue doing what you're doing, you're not going to help anyone. You're going to hurt more people, and that's exactly why I'm tired of it. The American people are tired of it. And Chairman, I yield my time.
Would you yield your last minute?
Yes, sir.
Why is his mic so much louder? I had to blast the volume on that.
So you
She's
don't
crushing
believe
it.
that banning the transfer of individuals into
And don't forget about this guy's files, and this guy and his dad. The big guy gets 10%. Yeah. Please and thank you. If you're on X, we're Sacred Owls Unite, and if you're on Facebook, I'll add you as a friend, I guess. Facebook.com/Christian X Coffins. And I mean, seriously, genuinely. Oh yeah, Rachel Maddow.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising.
Zelensky issues apology to Trump. Oh, this should be fun.
Please forgive this mistake. You must not leave us. I beg you. Your monies, your weapons, they keep us breathing, keep my nose happy. True, I use coke a little bit. War is crazy. I sniff too much. I spend wrong, not on Temu junk, but on stupid things. Now I fix, I swear, I buy only American, maybe Chevy for her, sniff tea, not Coke, Trump. You are strong king, send tanks, send dollars, send help for my nose. Hello, America peoples, I come to White House in bad Temu clothes, very cheap, maybe stink like old soup. Trump, he shout, you look like trash man. I feel bad, very sorry. I promise now, I wear fancy suit, so shiny with jewels, like big star, yes?
That's delightful. Jason Burmis. I'm gonna play you a little clip. Here's some 9/11 stuff. Another fellow OG.
Understand the significance of Able Danger. So here's just a 4-minute clip from my film Fabled Enemies, all the way back in 2008, describing the program.
Now I guess we can safely say that there were people within the FBI and other agencies who actively protected and aided the alleged terrorists. With all the resources available to U.S. intelligence, you would think that someone within would have detected something. Well, one did. The Black Operation Program Able Danger identified the hijackers prior to 9/11, but the FBI wasn't interested. Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer, an intelligence officer inside Able Danger, tried to blow the whistle several times.
Was the commission that investigated the 9/11 attacks told that lead hijacker Mohammed Atta had been identified and as al-Qaeda operative more than a year before terrorists struck?
I'm told confidently by the person who did move the material over that the 9/11 Commission received 2 briefcase-size containers of documents. I can tell you for a fact that would not be 1/20th of the information that Able Danger consisted of during the time we spent.
Schaefer would also meet with Philip Zelikow, the executive director of the 9/11 Commission. What did Schaefer tell Zelikow?
And I'm quoting how I remember saying it. We found, as part of the data run, we found 2 of the 3 cells which conducted the 9/11 attacks to include Atta.
Schaefer says his unit linked Atta to al-Qaeda leaders, but would not provide any specifics. As to what he did with the information he had,
we attempted to, first off, use it operationally. The lawyer said you can't do that. They're considered U.S. persons. Therefore, at that point in time, we made a determination as a team that we should move this information to the FBI.
But he says beginning in September 2000, 3 meetings he set up with the FBI were each canceled by military lawyers.
Despite all of this, the 9/11 Commission would deny it any significance and not include it in the report.
Leaving a project targeting al-Qaeda as a global threat a year before we're attacked by al-Qaeda is equivalent to having an investigation of Pearl Harbor and leaving somehow out the Japanese.
Schaefer and his team tried to stop the hijackers prior to 9/11, but were blocked. Later, the military would begin a smear campaign against them in order to discredit their findings.
A Pennsylvania congressman says there's a smear campaign going on inside the Pentagon, and he wants the defense chief to get to the bottom of it. Republican Congressman Kurt Weldon says Pentagon officials are trying to ruin one of their own who's gone public about a top-secret military intel unit.
Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, who was the first member of Able Danger to go public, has now been told in writing by the Defense Intelligence Agency that he can't speak to members of Congress or their staff without prior approval. And now a security clearance, which allowed him to deal with classified information, has been pulled. The congressman says Schaefer has been gagged, punished for speaking up.
It's obvious to me this is a clear attempt to silence this guy, but now even more than to silence him, to ruin him as a person and a military officer. I've talked to all the Able Danger players, and they all agree. This is a witch hunt against Tony. It's wrong. It's un-American. It's unacceptable.
The Pentagon reportedly does not...
Yeah, so he actually interviews one of the Able Danger guys in this hour-long episode. Link in description. It's fantastic. He's doing good work. I love that, like, Fox News things, that look he has going on. Yeah, center me. Should get a little bigger. Something like that. Ukrainian official responds to reports China may join the Russia war. China is too smart to commit to its military forces Russia's war effort in eastern Ukraine. The chair of Ukraine Foreign Affairs Committee said it. Reports attributed to the National Resistance Center run by Ukraine Special Forces suggest China's officials could consider supporting Russia's war effort in Moscow-controlled swaths of eastern Ukraine. Snooze Fest, don't do it, I'm anti-war. Here's another one of those super cuts. Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Cory Booker post identical videos word for word. I played the one with 22 of them, but you can't really hear it. This one is like a little bit more audible, so I'm going to play it.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up. Inflation is getting worse, not better. The prices of groceries, gas, housing, eggs, of essentials, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has done nothing. Goose eggs to lower prices. Instead, he's pardoned violent criminals who savagely beat police officers
on January 6th.
He's letting Elon Musk take a chainsaw to vital government programs, and then, even worse, giving him access to Americans' most sensitive data. Social security numbers, tax returns, health care bills. He's fired thousands of essential workers, people who help our veterans get their benefits, people fighting Ebola in Africa so it doesn't come here. He's frozen funding for vital programs that so many Americans
it's a threat to our democracy.
Research, education funds, payments to family farmers, and so much worse. Why are they doing this? Trump, Musk, Doge are taking these vital services away from you for one reason only, so they can give tax breaks to their billionaires club. Their plan is
you better open your mouth when I spit at you.
Win, families lose.
Well,
and that
win.
is the truth.
And that is the truth.
And that is the truth.
What in the world? That's just crazy.
This is the #1 trending video on all of TikTok. I think we're back, boys.
Right now, not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
This is the #1 trending video on all of TikTok. I think we're back, boys.
Right now, not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself...
So stupid. Brain rot. But it's funny. Some brain rot can be funny. That concludes. It's 8:58. Look at that. Oh, I'm way too small. That means it's the end of the episode. Let me get out of the Black House. Let me get ready for Monday. Because we don't do Fridays here unless there's a special report, which we only did that once. And never again. No, it was fun. That was really fun. I'm glad we did that. So check out all the other episodes, darkdox.com, youtube.com/Sacred Owls, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cashed out app, /darkdox. Throw me a couple bucks, bro. Greatly appreciate it. I love doing this, and I love it when you guys show up in the chat, and I think it's called Carbon, Jamie's Jukebox says. Alright, it's time to drop this down and enjoy the outer space for a little bit. I get to feel like Carl Sagan. You know, I have the turtleneck. He would wear something like this and say something like, the vast universe and the star systems are... I don't know. I gotta go eat some dinner, guys. You have a great night. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you again on Monday at 8 p.m. Display capture off. SeaWorlds. I think we're going to go to SeaWorld this weekend. Yeah. All right. Beware. Take care. Bye-bye.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian Talk.
DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. If you value this program, donate what you can at cash.app/DarkDox. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest.